Welcome, one and all, and welcome to the Husky Barbus podcast. This is one of your Huskies, and Barbu Ariel, and the other Husky, Barbu.
Jonathan.
Okay. So we're back because we're persistent that way. we,
We're
we,
just gonna keep filling the airways with BS.
yeah. I mean, you got politics for that, and you got CNN, NBC.
Yeah, this is the non-politic BS that we're throwing
Exactly. Yeah.
into the airways.
Like you have to filter all your BS by yourselves. Like we don't have to be here, your guiding hands, teaching you like this bullshit is this, this other bullshit is that. No, like be an individual, determine your predilection of bullshit that you like, and consume it. That's pretty much it. That's the American way.
Good way to put it in that.
That's the good old American way. Fed bullshit from the cradle. From the cradle to the grave. So we're here, and I wouldn't like to say that we talk bullshit. We just shoot the breeze, let's say.
Shoot the breeze.
Yeah, we're shooting the breeze.
Not bullshit. Things that interest us, I guess.
Exactly, exactly. And in a world that seems determined to kill itself for the itty bitty little dumbest reasons known to man, let's just have fun and just enjoy a laughter or two or three, and we can get that even rolling. That would be like what is it? What they call that? Like a roll or something.
It's this. Well,
A
we've been on
winning
a good
streak.
streak.
A
On
winning
a
streak.
roll,
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
winning streak.
A
We
winning
have been
streak.
on a good winning. I mean, by posting, I mean we haven't missed a week since. I mean, I missed 1 week due to
Hmm.
that whole
Oh no,
ordeal.
this takes discipline. So, like we're getting up there in the 100th episode. We're getting there little by little. Right now, this is number
We
81.
filmed number 80. This is number 81.
Yeah, we're doing 81 now, and that means we got 19 to go. There's 19 to go. I think we'll get there by end of the end of the year. I guess we'll get there probably.
Yeah, I don't know how many weeks are left in the year.
Yeah. I mean, every month it's like what 4 weeks.
About 4 or 3.
Yeah, 4 or 3 weeks. So we'll get there eventually, if God willing, we don't die or anything.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
Hopefully, hopefully.
I have no plans to checking out. I have no plans to checking out,
I don't. I mean, like I said, this show runs on you.
and I have no
You
intentions of cooling because it is my. What was it that Eminem said? And his name, my name is. Yeah, he said, "God sent me here to piss the world off." So,
yeah,
so that's pretty much my moniker. I'm
yeah.
gonna have that on my epitaph. God sent me here to piss the world off. Mission accomplished.
I mean that guy is just that guy's a lyricist, dude. It's just it surprises me the shit that comes out of his mouth, but it's good shit.
Yeah. And look, I'm not a big rapper guy. I'm more of a metalhead, but I also appreciate the lyrical qualities of one Marshall Mathers, Eminem, and all the guys that can that have good spitting on their rhymes. I appreciate that.
Dude made a whole song about Kill Kim.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you with you have that level of inspiration of a person that lived with you, and you discover the dark side of that person, and that person just drained you emotionally down to a path of hell that was unknown to mankind up until that very moment that she dragged you there, and you decide poetically to
You know, fuck
retort.
yeah, fuck this. This is for you, bitch.
You decided to retort in poetic fashion in the most vicious, vile. Like this is the equivalent of seeing Sonny Corleone beat the shit out of Carlo in Godfather One when he grabbed the trash can cap and just
Oh,
shove it on his fucking head.
I think this is meant to be on you. Hold on. Here you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this was not meant to cover the trash can. This is an ornament for your fucking head.
Yeah, I mean, but she should have known how dangerous she was with just guilty conscience. That song alone was fucked up too. And Dre was like, "Nah, come on, man, stop. Nah, fuck that, Dre. I'm gonna keep going."
Well, there's nothing quite like white boy rage.
A little bit white boy rage too.
Ooh, Jesus, that boy. Like, I mean, he did it constructively. Like we were talking last week about Vinnie Mac when one of the last interviews that he did before all these wonderful things happened into his life. He did it with Pat McAfee in the Pat McAfee show, and he was taught. And Pat McAfee asked him, "Well, why do you train so hard? Like you're in your 70s. Why do you train so hard?" He said, like, "I go this hard because murdering is not legal." That's what Vince said. Murdering is not legal. So, in order for me to get my frustrations up, I just had to hit the irons. I had to hit it because that's where I let myself loose and pull out all my frustrations and anger and put it on the weights. So that's what. And so if you ask the question why Vince McMahon at 77 is ripped as fuck and looks like he can take you in his sleep and rip your head off by just sneezing, it's well, you got your answer there.
Okay, but what happened to his face?
Oh no, we don't. I don't think Matt McAfee had the authority or was authorized to
Oh,
ask
he
that question.
definitely didn't have the authority or to ask that question
Oh yeah,
because
no, because the interview would have never happened.
Vince's face is fucked up.
Oh my god.
When
And
I
well,
saw him, I double took. I was like, hold on. Yeah,
yeah,
double
yeah,
take.
yeah. He had
Him,
something on his lips done, something
lips,
on his
nose.
eyes.
That dude had tons of work done.
Yeah, I think he got the Botox treatment or he swelled his lips. Because you know when old people tend to get the lips flatter as they get older.
He probably got cheek fillers because
Yeah,
as you get older,
because
you everything starts to
I
sag.
mean he looked like a grandma. He has a face of a grandma.
Yes,
He
he
has a
does look like
face
a
of a
woman.
grandma. He looks like a grandma. The body's like a fucking German tank,
Yeah,
but his face looks like a grandma. That's basically if you were
oh,
wondering, like if you were,
grandmama.
yeah, yeah,
Mary
yeah.
John.
If you have not been living under a rock in the past 20, 30, 40 years and you don't know what Vincent Grant looks like recently. So there, right, we just gave you a good
It's a good picture, good illustration.
good verbal illustration. This being an audio only podcast for the time being, until the good Lord provides good materials in order for us to provide more content. Also, the T-shirts are selling. They've been selling. That's good. I would
Bro, I
like
love my t-shirts. I
so
showed you them how they look.
yeah, and glad how they came out and look well. And so we will continue this partnership with T Public and until other venues open and that are more advantageous for our income.
Tell you one thing, their customer service is legit.
Oh, see, that's a good another point for them. So if you don't like the way the design came out or whatnot, you can go to their website or you can even call them directly and
Or
express.
the size is not right,
Like,
doesn't fit well. You know, anything. The shirt came out and there's a something happened with the graphic or the shirt got delivered and it was
hmm
ripped or something.
they take care of business.
You can chat with them. You can email. They say email. They said, oh, it's gonna take a day. They emailed me back within like 10, 15 minutes.
That's cool. That's very
So
cool.
the customer service is A plus. I give them to that.
So it's just like back in the day. Remember Hair Club for Men? There's a. I'm not also a member. I'm also a client.
Yeah.
So we're customers as well. So
Yes. Well, I'm definitely am. The new logo. I like the new logo. I got some questions for you at the end, probably when we're done with the podcast about some designs. But
okay, I
pretty
mean,
all the new design, the new logo is pretty legit. I like it.
yeah, and like I'm thinking about talking about it like now openly, like in the future, like try to expand this thing to not just audio stuff, but video and also illustration. And well, we'll see what one baby step at a time. We just can't go to the finish line right away. It's not about the destination; it's the journey.
The journey.
You know,
And
it's all about the journey, not the destination. The destination, yeah, it's good. It's good to have a goal. It's good to have a place to go where to park this vehicle at the end. But it's about the journey, not
this
the destination.
vehicle can get us to leave our jobs. Let's take it.
Let's be that literal and let's be that honest. Wow, let's break that chain. Let's talk clearly. Let's say it out loud. I fucking no. No. Caught myself.
Let's go back to the square. Just come back.
Yeah.
Driver's
Okay.
seat.
Okay. At
Put
the
it in
time,
drive. Don't put it
okay,
into sports
no.
mode. Go
Back.
into drive.
Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Last night, as a recording time, was SummerSlam. And this was the first SummerSlam main pay per view, or how they were calling it. Brace yourself. They no longer call these pay per views. They call them live premium events. That's what they call it now. Because technically, I mean, I don't know if they still sell them as pay per views, but if you got Peacock, what's the deal, right? Like, what's the point of calling it a pay per view? Because you're getting it for the what $9.99 you're paying on Peacock.
Yeah, I think it's like. I think I'm paying that much
Yeah.
because I got commercial free stuff. So maybe I'm paying $12.
Okay, so if you got the free shit, it's $9.99.
Yeah.
Like the old network, I mean, the network still works, but internationally, not no longer locally. But in the network, it's still $9.99 a month. But the thing is that this was the first premium live event without Vince McMahon's hand in it, and it showed.
Or they say.
Well, yeah, because CM Punk, God bless.
That's what I wanted to get into that
one. Yeah. We'll get into that later. But CM Punk had his doubts, let's say, about this actually being happening because, well, his past experience with WWE, not so good.
You say that? Why not?
Oh no! Oh, they went into court and everything. It was a nice little ordeal for everyone involved. Speaking sarcastically. Anyway, back to the SummerSlam. You could tell that this had no Vince McMahon hand in it whatsoever.
A good thing or a bad thing? Because I didn't watch it.
No, it was. I mean, I didn't see the whole thing. There was a couple of matches that I missed, but I did see most of it. Like, I would say 70% of it. Like, I didn't see the Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. I didn't see the Logan Paul versus The Miz. And I saw half of the match between Bobby Lashley and Theory, who used to be called Austin Theory, but since that name is similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin, according to Vince McMahon, he removed the Austin name part and just left them in Theory.
Okay.
Vinnie Mac logic. Anyway, everything that I did see was solid booked. The whole event was solidly booked. Things that made sense. What I mean, like story wise and what you see in paper made sense. And the main event was the craziest shit I've seen in wrestling in the past 20 years. This is the craziest shit. I've never seen any like that whatsoever. If you didn't know, the main event it was last man standing match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. The last Brock Lesnar entered the ring with a fucking tractor.
Oh yeah, I did see that on my Instagram.
And it had like the giant shovel arms on the front.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to like how do you call that shit?
They call them like pallet arms, I think.
Yeah, pallet arms. They had some pallet arms. And close to the end of the match, he decides to like fuck this shit. Puts the pallet arms under the ring, lifts the ring half up the air with Roman Reigns still inside the ring.
Out.
And he falls out of the ring. I've never seen that shit in my life.
Come out swinging, baby.
I never seen that shit ever in my life. And I'm in a group chat. I've mentioned this before, and WhatsApp with my friends back in DR that we still talk about wrestling to this day. And we were live chatting with each other while all this was going on, and we were all like, "This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life." And like, it was the first time in years we were like, "This is good. This is some good shit." It's been a while since it felt wrestling was like entertaining.
Well, now it's PG-14.
Yeah, if it's been a minute since it was actual entertaining, because and something came out this week as well that by the end of Vinnie Mac's reign and in creative, if you were complaining, if you were watching wrestling, first of all, God bless and help you with your mental health if you were watching wrestling in WWE specifically these past months. Because the reason I stopped watching Raw is not because I hate wrestling. I don't. Obviously, I'm talking about this crap right now. But the reason I stopped watching is because specifically with WWE, they repeat the same match over and over and over. It's like, oh, Riddle versus Seth Rollins for the 18th time consecutively in a row. But this time their attire is different, but that's the difference. But it's the same fucking match. And you're like, Jesus Christ, we're going to watch this thing again? And it was revealed, apparently, allegedly, that Vinny is suffering from memory loss. And when they were telling him, like, we booked the same shit last week. He's like, no, we didn't. He was like, no, we didn't. We didn't book this. We've been booking this match for like 3 weeks in a row now. They're like, no, we didn't. And since he was the boss, everybody just had to shut up. Because like I told you, like I was saying before, like last week, in WWE, before Vinny left, you were entertaining one man. And that man was Vince. So you were at the whims of an old man who now we know is going Joe Biden. Allegedly.
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 Where's the medical records?
Allegedly. He's going Joe Biden, allegedly. So, yeah. But anyway, the pay-per-view was great. The only the only
pay-per-view. It's not a pay-per-view.
yeah, premium live event. Anyway,
Call it PE.
Anyway, the only match that sucked, like it was horrible to watch, was the Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey match. Now the booking, I have no problem with how they booked the match, but the match was extremely short. Like it was almost like back in the Diva era, where the matches were like 2 minute long. Remember when the girls used to wrestle? It was like maybe a minute or two, and
Were
that's
they
it.
half naked though?
Yeah, no, because
So
look, they don't even call it the Divas title anymore. It's the Women's Championship. You know,
Well, they started calling the women's championship when I was still watching it.
no, because then they changed it to the Divas title, where it was a stupid butterfly belt. And
I
then
remember
now, like as of 2016 or 17, they changed it to the women's title, and it looks
Changed it back.
but it looks exactly like the men's title, like the men's main belt, only that the strap is white, just to make it more feminine, I guess. But it looks exactly like the men's title, only that the main plate in the middle, the background is either blue or red, depending on which brand.
SmackDown or Raw.
Exactly. It's blue or red. So Liv Morgan is the SmackDown champion, women's champion. So she was defending the title against Ronda Rousey. And everybody knows, scripted or not scripted, Ronda Rousey would beat that, would win that fight. Whole day, every day, twice on Sunday. Everybody knows that. But the way
She'll beat me in a fucking match.
she'll beat any human being that is not in MMA. Like any normal human being that is not MMA trained, she would destroy in 3.5 seconds. She would destroy. Like she will rip your arm off and feed it to you. That will
She
be
might beat you with it.
and beat.
too.
Oh yeah, no, she will beat you with it first until it's to the bone, and then shove the bones up your mouth, down your mouth, not up the ass because that's the Rock's gimmick. That's the Rock's gimmick.
Shine that thing real nice.
Let's stick it straight up your candy ass.
Oh, good old Rocky.
Yeah, those were the days. Anyway, so the match kind of sucked because, uh, I mean, this is a guy. First of all, I am in no way any position whatsoever to tell people how to wrestle, because I am way overweight, have zero hand coordination, and just talking about anything that is physical in my end would be the biggest hypocrisy under God's green earth. It was really like, your fat ass is talking to me, telling me how to wrestle? Yeah, let me listen to the inexperienced fat fuck over here who has never wrestled in his fucking life how to wrestle. There, let me pay attention to you, you fat fuck. Yes, you are the one that will tell me how to wrestle. Yes, your opinion matters in this motherfucker. So, having said all that, in my estimation, and I'm not trying to be mean or rude, those two didn't have much of chemistry. You know, it was some of the holds looked rough. I mean, I don't know if it was not having good chemistry or bad communication between the two of them, but it didn't look good. So the match ended quick, and the way the match ended, I give it props because it made sense. Ronda was just going after the arm for Liv Morgan. That was the SmackDown champion, and she was like selling the pain on her arm, her left arm. She was selling it and making sure that yes, she was in pain, and Ronda was like smelling blood. But then again, Ronda did the arm bar, and what Liv Morgan did was just stood up and let Ronda's shoulders hit the mat, and the ref counted 1, 2, 3. Ronda was under the impression that she tapped, so she let go of the hold, but not realizing that actually she got the pin by using her weapon against her. So it was perfectly booked. So it made sense how Ronda lost. She didn't look. She didn't look like, oh my God, a fluke happened. It was like strategy. I was smart. It was like Bret Hart beat Austin in a similar manner. Like remember where Austin first started out before he was full-fledged Stone Cold Steve Austin. The first match that him and Bret had in Survivor Series in '96. Austin was still using the $1 Million Dream, because remember he started in WWE as the ringmaster. He was less said about that the better. But anyway, he used the $1 Million Dream, which was the $1 Million Man's submission hold, which is a sleeper hold basically. And Bret, being the technical wrestler that he is, he knew he couldn't get out of it. So what he did, he ran to the corner and used the turnbuckles as a springboard, jumped behind, and then rotated and put Austin's shoulders on the mat. 1, 2, 3. He won. So I like it when it's that kind of smart booking. It's just that whatever happened before didn't. It seemed like that they were not communicating well.
They weren't selling it.
Yeah, they were not communicating well. Like there are times that Ronda had the hold on her, and all of a sudden Liv just let go. I was like, woman, you should have let her keep holding you because you were in the middle of showing a hold, and you all of a sudden you just let go, and just like no. So it looked bad. But other than that, everything else that I saw looked legit. The way they booked Brock to lose because Brock lost, it was like they threw everything and literally everything at Brock to keep him down. Because Roman hit him with each belt, because you know that Roman is both the world champion and the universal champion. So he is now considered the undisputed world universal champion. So he has 2 belts, and he hit him with each belt. And every time he hit him, Brock just stood back up. So they made Brock look like $1 million. So how did Roman ended up winning the last man standing match? Well, him and the Usos just buried him with all the rubbish that was left from the match. They just buried him under all the rubbish, and then Roman just sat on top of all that rubbish so he wouldn't get up.
I would have put the
The,
the
the,
thing on.
yeah. That I thought that was gonna be the play, like put the rig on top of him, but I guess that was too graphic, and they already used it to turn the ring upside down practically. So, but the thing is, what I'm saying is that the creative decisions were made that it made sense, and at the same time, they got to have their cake and eat it too, because Brock he looked like an animal, but he lost. Roman, who is a bad guy, but still people cheer for him, he got his cheap win, so he can keep his heat as a bad guy and still be credible as a fighting champion. So that's what I mean. That they practically hit all the every nail on the head. They hit every nail on the head. They hit every point on that match. And now, in 5 weeks, the next main event, the next premium live event, I caught myself right before I said it.
Good job. Good job.
Okay, it's gonna be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. You don't know who Drew McIntyre is? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. Well,
I told you I really stopped watching it.
yeah.
I just didn't see wrestling going anywhere really
Well,
when The Rock
Drew,
and Austin left.
you
It's just
okay? You might not remember because he did come back. Because he was in the ruthless aggression era or the PG era rather. He came
yeah.
in. He was a rookie, and then he was let go from WWE. Then he became a seasoned vet by going to every single independent federation under the sun. He traveled the whole world, and then when he came back to WWE, the dude was jacked to the to the gills. I'm
Do I
talking
ruin
like
anyone?
I'm talking about like no, dude. I'm not even joking about this. The dude came back. Like you remember, Test. You remember
Yeah.
Test.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the one time he left that let him go, and then he came back with like 30 extra pounds of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Like he came like jacked, like the Incredible Hulk jacked. Remember that?
Yep.
Basically like that, but without the obvious illusion that everybody's thinking about, but nobody wants to talk about it publicly. But he came. Drew McIntyre came jacked,
I think
jacked.
I think he did feel a steroid test.
That's why they eventually fired Test.
Yep.
They eventually fired him, and then he committed suicide.
Then what?
He killed himself.
Yeah.
A lot of that going on in WWE in wrestling. Lots of that.
What they need to really do is test these guys out for CTE. It shouldn't just be for football. It should be for high contact sport.
They are. I mean, look, back in the Benoit days when the Chris Benoit thing happened, that's what opened the Pandora's box for concussion testing. That's what opened it up. Now, that's why you see people complain about WWE nowadays because, they don't get chair shots in the head. Well, because they checked and they determined that causes irreparable damage to your brain when you get clogged in the head like that. So
Maybe they need to hit him with like a chair with a pad.
they are avoiding, like, AEW does not give a fuck though. AEW chair shots to the head are like
Yeah.
AEW, like you watch AEW, they get chair shots in the head like it's like they're
Like
throwing
it's mankind all over again.
no, like they're throwing T-shirts to the crowd. It's like at that level. I was like, okay, so I guess you got to eat the chair today. Okay, how many chair shots? 18. Okay.
You know what? Might make it 19. Just
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it's become. So WWE has been very cautious now about hitting people in the head. Like the last time there was a chair shot to the head was Triple H versus Undertaker, the second time they fought in WrestleMania, and both of them were fined like $25,000 each. for each
By
chair
who?
shot. Vince fined both of them. But they were like 25 G's.
25 grand?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just made 100 and
No, no,
something on this
no, no.
one.
I
Actually,
imagine both Taker and Hunter wiping their asses with that money. And here,
here, Vince, you want it?
here.
Take it.
We left an extra string. I didn't clean my ass for a week just so I can give you that money that way. Hope you
I took
like
the
it.
shit right after this match, and this is the
Yeah.
money I'm using for you.
Here. There.
Put this in the WWE museum, huh?
Yeah. Put that in the Hall of Fame.
You ever watch any of those shows?
Which ones?
The ones that they
Oh, the ones that they
hire
have to
someone?
they search for memorabilia.
Yeah.
I've seen because I don't watch TV. I look at like
Mm.
I'm mostly looking at YouTube mostly all the day because I
I
my
think that's where I found
uh,
this show. I didn't
yeah
watch it on TV. I think I found
yeah because
the clips on YouTube.
yeah because I don't know what's going on with me, but my attention span as I'm getting older now is like very limited, and I have very short patience with any shit. Even movies that I love, like I was watching Snatch. You know what that movie is, Snatch?
I heard of it, but I didn't
Okay.
watch it.
Okay, it has an awesome cast, and I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I got bored at half of the way. I was like, "What, yo? What the fuck?" And you know what the movie is about. You already know what's ever gonna happen. And there was the other side of me was
That's
like,
why.
exactly. That was the other side.
It
Exactly.
takes it takes a lot for me to rewatch a movie.
Yeah. After you're already watching, you're
It
like,
has
I
to be
know.
really, really,
Or if it's a
really fucking good for me to rewatch a movie.
or if it's a movie that you watched so long ago that you kind of forgot about it, and you're curious to want to watch it again to see what was the parts that you forgot. Like, for example, watched the first the movie that I recommended to you for Beverly Hills Cop. I've watched that movie
I watched the
as
second.
as a child. I watched that movie I think over 26 times.
It was a good movie though.
Exactly, but imagine for a new little brain like mine getting all this Eddie Murphy.
Y- But you're right. As you get older,
But I haven't
just don't
forgotten a
want
scene. I haven't forgotten a scene to this day.
because you watched it 26 times. You know what I used to watch as a little kid? Well, not a little. I mean, I guess it was little. Liar, liar. Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, that was good
I
too.
literally burnt out that tape. Me and my cousin will literally
Oh
watch that
no,
every single fucking weekend.
we. I remember me and my brother died watching Dumb and Dumber.
That's another
Oh my
but
god,
that movie is fucking hilarious though.
dude, we died like the fart scene.
One of
I was like 15 minutes later. I was still cackling in the floor. I
that
was
wasn't the
still
one where he was in the
cackling.
bathroom, right?
No, the one like when he's imagining like what it would be like when he delivers the money to the girl, and that like, he met her family, and then like he was doing party tricks, and then he just put a
Oh, with the
lighter
fire,
and
right?
yeah, and
Oh
boom!
my
Oh my
god.
god, I died. I died laughing. Oh my god! I was like 15 minutes late. The scene ended 15 minutes ago. I was still cackling in the floor.
One of my favorite parts is when they get in their feet done
Oh yeah.
and they were yeah. And
No.
then when he put X-Lac in his fucking drink and he went to the woman's house and the toilet didn't flush.
Oh my god. No, and the other scene where he was imagining how it would be like to be with her when the restaurant guy just showed up and started kicking his ass, and then all of a sudden he just rips the guy's heart out.
Yeah.
He puts it in a baggie. He puts it in a baggie, gives it to the guy, and the guy died.
You know,
And then that stupid kiss scene. The most exaggerated kiss scene I've ever seen in my life. He was eating her literally.
yeah. That movie to this day, I
Oh
can watch
my
that one again.
god.
Liar, liar, I can watch again.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, one and
That was a
two.
good.
Although one we can't.
One was 10 times better than
Yeah,
two.
but one you can't show one anymore
No, you can't.
in this culture.
In this culture.
Uh,
My two, I love when he started fucking with his eye when he going.
oh yeah.
god.
And it was a little less raunchier until the ending.
Yeah.
I love that the girl was like the I guess the princess of the tribe. I guess it was like she showed him her boobs, but they
Yeah.
didn't show it, and he just looked. Those are lovely, but
Yeah, he was incredible
oh
in the
my god,
90s.
no, he killed it. Like even the movie that people I went to see it and I liked it. You seen Cable Guy?
Yeah, I didn't like it that much. It was okay. I
I
wasn't
liked
like a
it
big
because it
fan
was
of it.
dark humor. It was dark humor.
I guess that's why.
It was dark humor. No, that's my. Oh shit, that's my lane. That's my
That's your
lane.
name.
That's my lane,
Yeah.
man. Like the darker the shit, the darker the funnier it is, the better. I love it. I love it. Like
And this is why we can't tell our coworkers about this podcast.
exactly.
Because
That
they
that
ain't ready, like you said.
again. This is the Schrodinger's cat of podcast. Like it exists only. Like you have to find it in order to know if it exists or not.
Like I did when
Yeah, because God bless you if you're expecting my fat ass to promote this shit like
I
properly.
don't know. I don't know how. I think what I did was I went to your channel, and then I think I went to T Public, and then it led me to the podcast, and then
Oh
I
yeah,
started
I
finding
think
the
I got the
listening.
links. I think I put the links there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and you put the links to the website, and then I went to started listening to the podcast on Spotify, and I was just I was started listening to it as I went to go pick up dinner, like every like Saturday,
Yeah, because back when
Friday night.
it was solo, it was just like a 30-minute, 20-minute podcast.
Yeah,
But now things have changed.
well, things have changed, and I think hopefully it's for the better. I mean, we bounce off each other pretty good.
Yeah. No, no, I just need someone to riff with because if it's just me, I'm just going to talk stupidity till no end. And even my wife is the biggest critic of the podcast. She was like, "You talk too much shit." You know that? She was like, "You talk too much shit." Like my wife is the most sweetest person on earth, and I mean that wholeheartedly. I mean that not non sarcastically. She's
That woman's a saint being with
she,
you.
she is the sweetest person on earth, and she has a heart of not fuck gold. She has a heart of diamonds. And not because it's hard. It's because it's pure. It's the nicest thing on earth. She is. I don't deserve her. I don't deserve her. The thing is, though, she can be harsh when she wants to, and with me, she's like has no fucking filter whatsoever.
You're her husband. She's more comfortable with you. She's
She
never gonna. She shouldn't have any filters with you.
she doesn't have any filters with me whatsoever. Like people could be like pretend to be nice. I don't know if that is true or not, but people can pretend to be nice in front of me. She'll be like, "You're full of shit." She'll be like, "You're full of shit. You're full of shit." And when she hears my podcast, you talk too much shit. You know that? You talk too much. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm just verbalizing what's going on in my head. I know. It's scary. Stop it.
And what is she saying now?
Oh,
You guys are fucking
oh
dumbasses.
no. It's over an hour, so she don't even try. So if it's over an hour, she's like, nope, I ain't got time for this shit. Like I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I got a girl to attend.
She's one of the plays, but she just leaves it on just for us to get the count.
Yeah. She listens to it like every once in a while, and I even ask her like, "What do you think we're doing?" Like when it was me alone, it was like, "You talk too much shit. You talk too much shit." Like stuff that is not even important.
So habla porquería, coño.
No. She's like, "This stuff is not even important." Like, it is to me. I'm like, it is to me.
It's to me. I'm putting it out there. And if they want to listen, go ahead. If they don't
Yeah.
want to listen, then fuck them.
I mean, it's not like I'm Kevin Smith mentioning every little detail of how he's penetrating his wife.
Oh my god.
Because that's his. You know that was the reason why Ben Affleck stopped talking to him for years. That was the reason because he put things like when Bennifer Part One wasn't in full fledged. What's going on?
Hmm.
Remember, back in the Jiggly days. Jesus Christ, that fucking movie sucks. That is the worst piece of shit ever put into cinema. and I will never forgive him for putting Al Pacino in that piece of shit. Anyway, close parentheses. Having said that, Kevin Smith was very open because Kevin Smith also did a movie with Ben, and Jennifer was in the movie, but like in the first like 5-15 minutes, which was Jersey Girl. Jennifer dies in the movie, giving birth to their daughter. So then the movie's about Ben being a single dad raising a small girl in Jersey, and also George Carlin plays Ben Affleck's dad in that movie. So
I've seen that one. I tell you, I stay away from Ben Affleck.
anyways, so back during those days, the problem with Kevin Smith, he doesn't shut up. He will tell you everything, and if you think I talk a lot, I'm mute. I'm the actual Silent Bob compared to that motherfucker. I'm the actual Silent Bob next to that motherfucker. He doesn't shut up. He'll tell you everything, and he admitted it himself afterwards. Like when they reconciled again, he admitted it himself. Like, yeah, that was my bad. I fucked up. I fucked up that relationship because I wouldn't shut up. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows I talk. I talk shit for a living. And dude has like 18 podcasts. He has a
Damn.
podcast network.
That's crazy.
He has a podcast network. Why do you think he's been surviving all these years without doing that many movies? It's because he survived doing podcasts. Like
What is this other guy doing? Was it that other guy he's always was with?
Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
He's in the network. He has a podcast.
He has a podcast too.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What the
They
fuck
have
are
they
doing?
have
Is it because they're famous? And everyone wants to listen to them?
yeah. I mean, basically that's what podcasts are right now. I mean, even celebrities have podcasts now. Like actors have podcasts now. Like Rob Lowe has a podcast. This woman from the Big Bang Theory has a podcast. Like,
Which one?
the actual doctor, Amy Farrah Fowler.
Yeah. The one that does Jeopardy.
Yeah, she has a podcast. It's like now there's an overabundance. Like I was into podcasts when nobody knew what the fuck that was.
When there wasn't a world podcast. Well, this pandemic really opened up the podcast world.
Yeah, because you
Because
had
it's
nothing
just
to
like
do.
us. We're talking over the computer, and we're talking at a safe distance, and we can watch. We just started doing the camera thing, but it's
Yeah, for
it's the safest thing.
those listening, we are actually watching each other via camera, but due to the beautiful equipment that I have, it's the up to date, most modern equipment that I have, read between the lines.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a Mac. I mean, my wife has a Mac, and I don't. I never really was a Mac
I have a
computer
Mac.
fan.
It's just that I wish
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it was made in this decade. I wish it was
well,
made
yeah,
in this
if I
decade.
had a Mac, I could record us and always somehow get it to you somehow. We would could have figured it out. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just the pandemic just opened up a whole different world to us that we didn't know we had.
Yeah.
Like you knew we had because you were the small margin of people, but
I like podcasts because podcast is stuff to listen to at your leisure.
it's kind of script. It's no
It's
script
not
to it.
scripted. You talk naturally.
Just talk whatever comes to your mind, whatever is rolling that day, whatever reminds you, whatever. I mean, that's the beauty of it. I watched it since you got me into Uncle Joey. That's he's an uncle now to all of us.
Yeah, that's what all the fans call him.
He,
His uncle, and he even calls you. Listen to your Uncle Joey. By
he's
the way,
just
he's in the Yankees game right
he's at
now.
the Yankee game. Yeah, since you sent me that clip of him being in New York City, I started following him, and he was like, "This is Uncle Joey. We're at the Bronx. Yankee Stadium is fucking bananas,
It's
and
tremendous.
it's tremendous."
That's his favorite word. Tremendous.
But even yesterday I was watching
The Yankees
him
win
and Joe
yesterday.
Rogan. no. Yankees play almost every single day, but
But
Uncle Joey,
no, but I
I
mean,
was
did they win yesterday?
yeah.
Okay.
They're currently losing right now, 4-3
Fuck.
in the background.
Fuck.
So if you see me do this, it's because I'm watching the score.
Fuck.
Um, um, but yeah, it's just it opens up. Like yesterday, I was watching YouTube, and it was like part 36 of Uncle Joey's best podcast with Joe Rogan, and I'm just like,
Dude, his story doesn't end. The dude has stories for days.
it's just like, oh yeah, I was when I was over here, I was
He's
sucking this girl's monkey. I'm just like,
he's
aren't
lived
you?
he's lived like 18,000 lives.
Yes, he that dude lived a rough life, but's living good right now.
Yeah, no, he survived and he's learned from the error of his ways. He's no longer
Was
uh
he? Go ahead.
no, he's no longer in the thievery business. He's no longer getting high. Well, he is, but with marijuana. But
He's eating edibles that are like.
yeah,
There was this one thing I was watching it with the guy that used to be in
used to be with him.
UFC. He'd be in the UFC.
Uh,
Forgot his name. It was
Daniel
Joe
Cormier.
Rogan. Who?
Cormier.
It was some white dude.
Oh, some white dude.
Forgot his name. It was Joe
Chael
Rogan.
Sonnen.
I don't know. I gotta look up his name.
But was he like a commentator or is it?
Oh, he was a fighter.
He was a fighter. Oh, Chael
Yeah,
Sonnen was a
I,
fighter.
who was? What was the name?
Chael Sonnen.
Chael.
Chael Sonnen. He's a white boy. Very smart. Very articulate man. Knew how to sell himself as a heel for every fight because he used wrestling elements.
No, was that him?
Um,
Let's see, let's-
I would doubt
the-
that'd be him because I don't think he's ever talked about consuming
no,
cannabis.
this dude.
Because if you're talking
Let's
about Joe Rogan, it has to be somebody that consumes cannabis. Nate Diaz?
Nate Diaz was. I know he definitely was on.
I mean, he's still kind of fighting. I think he's got a fight next month.
No, I think this dude is retired. He doesn't
Okay.
fight anymore.
Okay, so white dude doesn't fight anymore and
Yeah, let me see.
loves the weed. And loves the weed?
Yeah, let me see if I can get this one. Hold on.
Is it
But
Nick?
you
It,
can keep talking. But yeah,
it
I
ca-
was
is it
I
Nick or Nate Diaz? Which one? One of the Diaz brothers.
I don't think it was any of those. I know I seen this dude on I seen this dude on Ridiculousness. That I remember seeing him on.
Is it? Oh my God! Is it Brandon Schaub?
Maybe it was him. That name
Uh,
sounds familiar. Brendan.
okay.
Am I spelling his name wrong? Brendan. Shaw. Yeah, UFC.
Yeah, it must be Brandon Schaub.
Yeah, it's him.
By the way,
Yeah,
apologies for all of you listening for
yeah, yeah. Sorry, my
the.
bad. But yeah,
Apologies to
he was
everybody.
on there, and the guy was just like, they were handing out edibles. It was 120 whatever, and and this guy was like, he's asking Joe Rogan, he's going, I'm not Joe Rogan, he's actually going, Uncle Joe, he goes,
Hmm.
is this really gonna fuck you up? We go, man, I ate like 1,200 yesterday. He was just like,
Joey has the highest
he just
tolerance.
eat, and then and then he started talking about this chocolate bar that he was eating. He goes, this shit right here, yo, I didn't go to jiu-jitsu the next morning. He goes, well, how much did you eat of it? He goes, I ate the whole fucking bar. They said that the whole, he said, he goes on the package, I think he says it's like 250 whatever
Oh my God.
whatever. He goes, they're fucking lying to you, and that's okay. I like being lied to, but It ain't no 250. I tell you that.
Dude. You saw the video I sent you about Lee Syatt when he was doing the Church of What's Happening Now. That Joe Rogan is just commentating, looking at poor Lee Syatt going into outer space,
Yeah.
and that's Joey just evil. Like he would get 1,000 milligram a bag, and then he would remove the ones that are 1,000 milligrams and put the one in 200 milligrams,
Yeah.
and put it and seal it back up. Here, these are just
Dude
two.
was
These are just two.
sleeping.
These are just 200 milligrams. You can't eat those.
He was
Joey, you're not lying to me.
sleeping.
Yeah, no, I'm not lying to you. You can have those.
The dude was sleeping.
He knocked them out. He knocked them out.
There was this one podcast that I was watching. It was him and one of the dudes that it was on Joe Rogan's show. We're not gonna go back into this,
Oh
but
my god.
he was he must have done a big one because his eyes were almost they were shut as this other guy was talking to him, and he was just talking to him, and it's like with his eyes shut, like he was about to fall asleep. But there was this other one. He said it was called like Koosh, something like that. It comes in a box, and they said that they cut it. It looks like a round cake. He said, and they cut it into pieces. It's perfect for you. He goes, "That was a Avon. I ate the whole fucking thing." He goes, and that was stronger than the candy bar. He goes, there's like 50, 60, $70 bars in there, and I spent $10 on this one bar, and they fucked me up more than any of those other expensive ones.
And I love how he always and Joe Rogan. That fucked me up.
Joe Rogan, that fucked me up.
And he always
You know what,
talk
Joe Rogan?
everybody he talks to. Let me tell you something, Tom Segura. Let me tell you something, Brandon Schwab. He just calls everybody with their full name.
Yeah, and it was like, well, it's the starter kit, like you gave me, monkey,
Sukalaming.
sukalamink. It was just,
Or
and
minkia
you
juice.
hear him breathing through the mic, like,
Oh yeah, heavy breathing through the mic. And his laughter.
but it opened the world to all these different people that we
Dude,
don't listen to on a regular basis, and it
I'm telling you, he's an animal. He's an animal.
he is. Was he in the movie The Longest Yard? The
Yes.
second one.
Ye-
That was him. Right?
Yes.
When they were
You
running.
better
around
not cut me
field.
from the team.
They were running around the field, and fucking Terry Crews gave him a fucking McDouble right on his chest after he fell down from running, and that's when he said, "Don't cut me from the
You
team."
better not cut me from the team.
I remember there was one of the stories I was listening to yesterday. He said that it was a CBS pilot,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy went to go watch the show, and after the show he goes, "Listen, I've been trying to find a guy like you for 3 weeks." He goes, "We want to shoot this pilot for this TV show, and come down tomorrow. We read the lines." He goes, "I suck so fucking bad. I was snorting. I was doing this. I was doing that. At the beginning of the show, I had 19 lines. By the end of the recording, I had nothing but nodding." He goes, "I fucking sucked."
Oh, Dios. I just I love his comedy because again he's a savage, but he's sincere. He's honest. He's not.
And that's what makes me like him, because if he wasn't, yeah, like you said, he's a savage. He's an animal. He's fucking hilarious. I could watch him all day, all night, and all day. It's just, it pops up on my phone now because of you.
Yeah,
Bastard.
You're welcome. You are most welcome.
But,
And another one has been indoctrinated into the Church of What's Happening Now,
yeah, I just can't get.
and
I can
him
picture
saluting
him
the
putting the freaking nun into a headlock and
Yeah.
just walking down,
and
down the hallway with
and going
her.
dun 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 dun.
Oh man.
This is America, you cocksucker.
Yeah, oh my god, don't get him started with that shit. You fucking momos.
This is America, you cocksucker.
You can't take us down.
You can't take us down. Come on, grab your dick, grab your ball, and say it proudly. We're Americans, you cocksucker.
And the guy that's the guy, what was that guy's name that you said he'll put like a $1,000 milligram thing and put it into a 200 bag. What was that guy's name? That
That's
co-host of his?
Lee Syed,
Yeah,
the one that went in outer space.
he'll just fucking start playing it like, out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and he's like, "Don't do this, don't do this. You really want me to come out? Do you really? Fucking you did it now."
Lee Syed even has his own podcast now. He's lost a ton of weight. He lost
Good.
a ton of weight, a ton of weight. I mean, I think he dropped like over 100 pounds,
Yeah.
and just eating healthy and just walking every day. It's not like he went hard to the paint.
All you have to do is cut. Like I did it. All you gotta do is cut your intake by half. You still enjoy what you're doing. Drink a
Eh,
ton of water.
I'm
Do a
just
little
waiting.
exercise.
I'm
10 minute walk
just
around the corner and come back.
I'm just waiting for my wife to come here so she can cook.
That does it too. I mean, I
'Cause
lost I lost 80 pounds
I
before I started this job when I worked for Amazon because I actually moved my ass.
exactly. Look, I was
Staying home is not good.
I've been a fat ass like 80% of my life. I've been a fat ass. I
Me
think
too. I was a
like
big boy.
when I think the only time I was thin was when I was a kid, when I was a small child.
Me,
I
my
think I
wife,
started
I
I st-
was like 250.
I started getting weight and started getting fat like at 14 like that, something like that. That's when I started getting fat. But before that, I was a skinny little kid, and uh, I mean, you know what? What I think what was the start of it for me that fucked me up? That really because I wasn't thin, but I wasn't fat either.
Hmm.
You know that you
Yeah,
a little pop belly and that's it. A little pop belly, but nothing like saying Jesus Christ, you're fat as fuck. Like, oh look, there's the Michelin Man.
listen. If I learned anything, and I think you might need to start watching it. He's not dark but fluffy. He makes
Mm-hmm.
fun of himself in his stories, and it makes you
Gabriel
feel good.
Iglesias.
Yes,
Gabriel
makes you feel
Iglesias.
good about not being fat, but just being comfortable with who you are.
No, no. I believe me. My 30s was my whole decade in my 30s was a road to self discovery of learning of who I am and accepting myself, flaws and all. Because I was before that I hated myself, like being open minded and being honest and sincere. I hated myself for all the shit that I did to myself and what I did to others, and I didn't understand myself. Then I did a personality test and a test that shows what type of personality you have, and that shit, like, it was like discovering who I really am. And once I did that, like, oh, so this is why I'm like this way. And also some trauma from the past, which we will not go there because we're not trying to be downers. We're trying to be uppers, not downers.
Yeah, I
And
mean, even this conversation is not a downer. It's to bring light about just be who you are,
exactly. And
be to the best ability, and
like,
just love yourself and just stop
look,
worrying about
that
what everyone else's opinion about you. They don't, at the end of the day, they don't pay your fucking bills.
yeah. Look, I took that personality test and I found out that not only am I an introvert, which is okay, whatever, but in DR that's like like DR is
Yeah,
not
DR,
known is
yeah,
not
DR is
known
not
for
known for that
being
shit.
is not known for being for introverts.
That's because everyone helps each other. Everyone's family. They look out
Yeah,
for each other there.
but like, well, living here in Geekville, USA, the under the kayfabe name of the place where I'm living.
It's perfect for you to be an introvert.
uh,
Yeah.
anyways, here people are like shouting, screaming. Like, if you don't know the language, you think like
Yeah.
they're cursing each other out, and it's like they're saying, "Hi, how
Well,
are you?"
you live in Little Dominican, USA, right there. Where
Anyway,
you're at, it's
dude,
it's a little DR.
I tell my friends in DR all the time, like every time I walk by the neighborhood here, I'm like trying to turn the corner to see if I see the Monumento. Because it's like I didn't leave.
You didn't.
I
And I know
didn't leave.
exactly where you're at. It because I know from firsthand, being meeting you for the first time in person.
Mm.
I know by firsthand. I felt like driving over the driving to where I went to go see you was like I drove through countries to come. It's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, I took that test and I took the test 5 times because I wasn't convinced. I was like, no, this is bullshit. This can't be true. Because I didn't think of myself as an introvert. Because I just, you deal with yourself and you're you. You're not thinking about, am I this? Am I that? You don't think
I
about that
think at
kind of
the end
shit.
of the day, you don't even need to put a label on you. I mean, you just like me. I interact with people that I like, that I get along with. I tell you the truth right now. If I didn't get along with you, and I thought we weren't going to be a good match, that whole training would have been really weird, huh?
Yeah. No,
Uh,
but that test that I took, it helped me because it helped me see my strengths and my weaknesses. You understand? I wasn't aware that I had strengths and weaknesses. One of the good things about because I came out as an INTJ, those are like those are the unicorns of the introvert world. Like 2% of the planet has that type of personality. Just
and
2%.
yeah,
Two
well,
percent of the planet. So I'm a
which allows you to work on the call center.
oh yeah. Like when you saw a list, I saw a list of like jobs that are perfect for introverts, jobs that avoid at all costs for introverts, and guess what came number one?
Call center.
Call center. Call center is like number one with a bullet. It's like
Hmm.
yo, boom, up there, man. It's just up there. Like number one with a bullet call center. I was like, well, somebody done fucked me up. somebody is lubricating my asshole.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't I don't see people as introverts. I mean, I was always told I was an introvert because when people were over at my house, I'd come out to say hi, and then I went right into my room.
Oh no, I
What
didn't
I
even
want
do
to,
that. When I heard people were coming by my house, I hid under the bed.
I couldn't get underneath my bed. I didn't have any room.
Well, back in the day when I was skinny.
Yeah,
So I,
but still,
I just Ricky Henderson that shit and went sliding right on the bed.
it's like I said hello because
No, I didn't even do
I
that.
was,
My
yeah,
mom was pissed at me. Was like, you have to say hi to the people. I'm like, I'm
that's
afraid of
why.
that.
Because
I was like,
my
no.
my mother would have
People
thrown
are
me
el
into a
diablo.
wall.
I was like, people are el diablo.
Yeah. So, I said my hellos and I went right into my room. I said, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it was like, I was respectful. I said hello and I went right back into my room. Why
Oh
do I
no.
need to stay out there when I'm the youngest freaking person in the room? I have nothing to say. What, am I going to stare at the wall? No. I'd rather go in my room and go continue playing whatever system I had at the time, if it was Nintendo 64, PlayStation, or whatever the hell it was.
Oh no. I just had my imagination because living in DR. I mean,
Well, we lived in two different worlds.
yeah. I mean,
And
if it were up to me, like if I would have, I really sometimes wonder what would have been like if I would have stayed here as a kid and not be raised in the state in DR because like the advantages that I would have had here, like well, comic books. One that would have been like number one with a bullet for me. That would have been like, yay, comic books. I have access to comic books. I have like how much time I waited for there to be comic books actually sold in DR, like actually sold. Like,
I waited a long time.
dude, it was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they started selling comics in Spanish, and because they did so much low sales, because the problem is in DR there is a geek community because now it's more acceptable than it was like 30, 40 years ago.
Hmm.
Like right now, everybody can be a geek. Everybody knows who Captain America is. Everybody knows who Spider Man is. Everybody knows who all these characters are. But 30 years ago, if you said, "Oh, Bruce Banner is the Hulk," they will bitch slap you. They will bitch slap you like
Hmm.
you is there something wrong with you? What is your main malfunction? That's what they would tell you in your face. Now, I remember I had conversations with coworkers when I started working, and I was talking about all this geeky shit, and people looked at me like, this boy need to be called to the ambulance right away and be sent to the loony bin.
Yeah, they might put you in what was his name? The hospital, the loony bin in DC.
Oh,
Was it
Arkham
that?
Asylum.
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum.
And what was the doctor's name?
Savannah.
No, wasn't it the Chinese guy's name? I forgot.
Uh,
They
uh,
kill me here. Wasn't the doctor that used to do experimental things on you?
no, Savannah. No, it wasn't Doctor Savannah.
Wasn't Doctor Strange either?
No, 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 no. I forget.
I forget his name.
Yeah, yeah. We forget his name. And
Anyway,
yeah,
that that's where they would have put you. But yeah, yes, you have more advantages over here than you would in DR.
yeah. But I don't think I would have turned out the way I am if I lived here. Uh,
I
the,
wouldn't say that.
look, the '80s here were not like as kind of hoodish things are here now. Back in the '80s, it was more hoodish, if I may say so. And it actually,
But you would
because
have kept to yourself like you didn't. You
I
do it
had a lot of bad
anyway.
influences, believe you me. I had a lot of bad influences running around at those days, and I will
Listen,
not. I will
we
keep it at
we don't
that.
need to. We don't need to get into that. But
No, no, I won't get into that. But yeah,
God, God puts you in a path that He
mhm,
thinks is going to be good for you,
yeah,
and that path for you was to go back to DR.
yeah. No, no,
That
I
you
believe that
found the
100%.
best two gifts in the world over there.
I believe that 100%. That's why I tend not to think so much about what coulda, shoulda, all that shit, because it's not important back. Like at the end of the day, it's not important because guess what? You have your reality now. This is what you have now. So play with what you got. Be thankful for what you got. Don't be
That's it.
thinking about what could have happened because if you change the past, then you alter what you have right now. You wouldn't have what you have right now because things would have changed everything drastically. Like if I would have stayed, for example, with my first girlfriend, guess what? I wouldn't have my daughter, and I cannot imagine my
And without
life,
your daughter.
my life without my daughter. I can't imagine that. So no, I like. Was it a good decision me ending that relationship? Eventually, yes. Eventually, yes. It was a good decision because
Well,
I got
even
my
her
wife.
dad told you
Oh
she
yeah.
was bad news.
Let's keep it that way. No, no, no. Let's not go that much in there into
Oh
those
no!
details.
If your wife listens to this,
Yeah.
go
No,
ahead.
no, no. She
Keep
already
going.
knows all that stories. I'm just saying for in
Yeah.
case the ex does end up listening to
No,
this.
like I
I
said,
can't.
all I said was the daddy wanted it. Next.
Uh,
Uh, but yeah, at the end of the day, you, your path is your path. You can't change it.
yeah.
You only can better it.
So so you think it's like and you've seen Forrest Gump,
Not the whole thing.
but you know the crux of the movie more or less that for example the Lieutenant Dan, you know the character Lieutenant Dan, right?
Yeah, I just don't remember his name. Didn't he do? Wasn't he on one of those CSIs
Yeah,
or?
yeah, yeah. So you know that his character ended up with having no legs from the knees
Yeah.
down.
Hmm.
So that character believes that everything is predestined. He thinks that it's your destiny to go through this and that. So his destiny, he thought it was to die in Vietnam, but Forrest saved his ass. Forrest saved him, and now he was alive, but now he was a crippled. So he was resented. He had resentment towards Forrest because he saved him, but he wanted to die because guess what? Every single family member of his family died in an American war. So he wanted to continue that lineage of another family member dying in an American war. So he felt like he got robbed out of it. He even told him like, "You robbed me out of that. It was my destiny to die, and you robbed me out of it." So at the end of the movie, uh, Forrest is contemplating, and he's saying like, is it that you have a destiny, or is it that you make it yourself? And in the end, because Forrest not the sharpest knife in the drawer, you know that his
He's a smart one. Who are you talking
no, no, he's not that. Let's leave it there. If you watch the movie, by the way, almost 30-year old movie, so you
about? Life
probably
is like a box of chocolate.
exactly. So his conclusion was that it's a combination of both. It's kind of destiny, but at the same time, it's destiny according to what you decide. You know, that's the
Mm.
logic that he found on it. It's destiny according to what you decide. So if you decided to go a certain path, yeah, that path could be kind of like predetermined for you, but it all depends on the choice that you make. It all depends on that choice. So I see it kind of that way. Like it's not that it's predetermined. It's just that whatever you choose will affect the rest of your life in a trajectory depending on what that choice was.
Well, it's a two-way street. Well, it's a two-way intersection. You
No,
don't
no,
know which one is the best.
no. And every
But
action has a reaction. So choose wisely, choose properly. What is beneficial not just for you right now, but in the
but
long run.
but in the long run.
Yeah, what is good for you in the long run. So I don't know how the hell we ended up from going talking about SummerSlam to talking about life choices and shit.
The Yankees are winning 6-5.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
But yeah, going back to wrestling, how about we do that a little bit? CM Punk
Oh
came
yeah,
out
you
with
wanted to
this
talk
thing.
about that. You wanted to
I
talk.
forgot where I saw it, but he basically was saying that okay, why did they announce that Vinnie Mac,
Yeah, yeah. He
Playboy,
basically he's
left, retired, and then Brock Lesnar was walking out,
uh
and then all
huh
of a sudden he walked back in.
uh huh. So he was saying that why didn't you call him unprofessional when two girls went to Vince through left the belts, the women's tag team title belts in his office and said, "Okay, yeah, we're walking out," and they walked out and they crucified those two girls.
Crucified,
Uh,
crucified CM Punk for leaving.
yeah. So he was like, "Okay, so
But Brock
what?"
Lesnar did it. He didn't say anything,
But
but
he,
he walked back into the building.
uh huh. No,
So
no. I'm getting that part. I understand that, and to a point, I agree with him. But the part that he's talking about, that hasn't changed. One, he hasn't worked in that company since 2014. He hasn't worked in that company since 2014. And you can say, well, he was doing the backstage stuff, but that was working for Fox, not for WWE. When he came back and did the WWE backstage,
mhm.
but that was for Fox, not WWE. And he was very adamant. They said, I don't want to work for WWE. I want to work with Fox. And since he has wrestling experience, what with him being a world champion, former world champion, he had the credentials for the job. He had the credentials. So he did his job and he did it well. And he criticized WWE, but he did it in a respectful way. He wasn't being an ass. But now, since he's working for the competition now, he and apparently he still holds grudges. He was like talking shit about whether Vince actually did leave WWE or not. That's his point right now. It's like, oh, you think that they've changed? Nah, that hasn't changed. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Obviously I don't work for WWE. I'm not an insider. I'm not an incel to tell you what is this and that. I just go for whatever the dirt sheets tell you.
Mhm.
But like, set your shit aside. Like, whatever personal beef you got with that company, and I don't think it's so much personal beef. You got a beef with a group of people over there, namely Vince, and after that Triple H. He does have something against Triple H as well. because he resented Triple H because when the alleged Summer of Punk happened, uh, and Punk was red hot after that pipe bomb promo that he did. The first match, one of the first matches he did coming back was going against Triple H, and Triple H beat him clean. So
So what is his problem?
no, his problem is that Triple H didn't put him over, and he said that he should have put him over because it was his moment. Triple H wouldn't have lost any clout by losing to CM Punk because Triple H is Triple H. He already has his position, plus all the other positions he already had backstage. So he said Triple H didn't lose anything by losing to him. So he ended up resenting it. And this is not me speculating. This is things that Punk said himself. And when they offered him a WrestleMania match, and that was another thing that pissed him off. He said that one thing that had pissed him off is that he never got to main event of WrestleMania. And he was like, and he complained to Vince. I was like, okay, so yeah, you did Dwayne and Cena part one, but then you have to do it again. I was like, why don't you add me in the third wheel so that way you don't have the same match again? Like everybody saw what happened. Like, and I don't. And he said, look, I don't care winning or losing. I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to be in the main event because I want that. I want to be like he said. How many dudes get to main event WrestleMania? How many wrestlers get to main event WrestleMania? You can count them with one hand. You know, you can count them because guess what? Some of them have repeated multiple times the main event in WrestleMania. Roman Reigns has like 6 main events in WrestleMania. You understand me? Brock Lesnar has like 6 or 7 as well. So like we're talking about 6 or 7 years that other people could have had that spot and don't have it anymore because these two took it in one way or another. They took it. Nothing against them. They deservedly so because they're the top guys in the company. But some other people got to eat too. Some other people got dreams. Some other people want that spot. Now you got to earn it. I understand that you got to earn it. You have to. But we're talking about in an era where, again, you were entertaining one old fuck, and it was all the decision of that old fuck. So I understand Punk on that perspective that he has that. He's looking at everything from those lenses in the past. But for what I saw in this SummerSlam, Vinnie Mac ain't here no more. Vinnie Mac ain't here no more. Even the commentary was different. And they even made an inside joke during the SummerSlam. Corey Graves told Michael Cole, was like, I don't like you now. You're too outspoken now. Like you're speaking your mind. I don't like that. And Michael Cole just said, well, hey, things have changed. He threw that little dig right there, like, hey, things have changed.
I don't know. Time would tell, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying Punk is wrong or bitter. He probably is. And with reason at part, because he got a shitty deal. But then again, you also had a participation on that, and you decided to do something about it, which was take your ball and leave.
I mean, at the end of the day, you were champion all because you didn't get a main event in the biggest stage of WWE.
But that was just part of the issue. That was part of the issue. He had a lot more problems with WWE.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, I guarantee you, if he got that main event, a lot of those issues wouldn't be stemming the way it is.
No, it's like JR used to it says in his podcast. He says that when a talent is pissed at the company, it's because of the 2 C's, creative and cash.
Well, but I want to just look at the cash you make when you're a main event at any of these, especially WrestleMania, because that's the biggest stage of WrestleMania's year.
Those dudes make millions just on that match alone. The main eventers.
I would love to check that out. I would like.
I would dare say, and now WrestleMania is actually a 2-nighter. It's a 2-night event now.
Yeah. So I mean.
So now you get two main events. There are literally two main events now. Because there's the main event of the first night, the main event of the second night.
Yeah, I would love to see the cash flow on that.
Dude, I know that they get paid well. I know that they get paid well. Because why else make it a 2 night event? Also, that helps because if you're gonna book, people get tired of like 5 or 6, 7, 8 hour extravaganzas. People get tired of that shit. So by cutting in 2 nights, that gives more opportunity for everyone else to get their shit in.
You're almost making it like a Comic Con, almost like you're spreading it out,
Yeah,
spreading the love.
but that's a good idea though.
I have nothing against it.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea. They make more money. People stay more in that city. They will stay an
The
extra
city
day.
makes the city that's hosting it makes money in the hotel rooms for an
Yeah,
extra day, like you said.
they make millions,
The
millions,
restaurants.
millions. Like the city that like cities are go to bidding wars to get WrestleMania now.
Well, it's like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like the Super Bowl. Only that they're giving you 2 nights now.
The Super Bowl and most and like any of these All Star games. The only thing that the only sport that doesn't change its All Star game is football.
Yeah,
Football always has it in Hawaii.
because it's the warmest weather in the
Well,
year.
yeah, but I mean, you can easily go to LA. You can easily go to Arizona, who has a field.
Or south, go south.
Go south. You can go to Tampa. You can go to Texas. A lot of these places, like Indianapolis
Mm-hmm.
and other states, they have domes. You can easily go to a dome. I think that's what they need. I mean, instead of having the Super Bowl in a different stadium every single year, I think you should have the All Star game in a different stadium every year. Um, I mean, it's still the Super Bowl should be played at somewhere that you don't like a team doesn't have home field advantage
Yeah.
because it's only one game. But NBA All Star Game is in a different court every single year. The baseball is in a different field every single year.
Yeah.
Even like that's why the World Series, the NBA championships, Super Bowls, they're all made for rich fucking people that go to the games and they
Like
barely fucking pay attention. You give a typical fan like me or you or anyone, a typical fan, they're gonna enjoy the game 10 times better than these rich ass mother effers will do.
mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, maybe 5% of the people that actually go to these Super Bowls or championship games actually pay attention to the game and enjoy it.
Yeah, because those games are just now like celebrity cameo clout. That's practically what it is. Like,
Yeah, it's
and people
basically
even
saying,
go
guess where
to
I was this weekend.
and also they go more for the halftime show than the actual game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, especially Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that.
No, that specifically the Super Bowl I'm talking about because there's
Do
hardly any halftime
you
games.
know that those people that perform at the halftime have to pay for that shit? They don't
So
get paid.
they don't get paid. They pay.
They pay to perform
That's
because it's just like the commercials during the Super Bowl. You put your best commercial out there during the Super Bowl. That's why they make it a big deal. Those people pay millions of dollars to have a commercial
Yeah,
during the
no,
Super Bowl.
that I know. And
But yeah, those performers,
it's been like
that's
that for 30 years now that they
yeah,
pay millions.
those performers paid to be on there. Why do you think the last few Super Bowls had like 3, 4, 5, 6 people on there? Like Eminem was there, but you also had Snoop Dogg, you also had Dr. Dre, you also had Mary J. Blige, you also had
50,
someone else,
50 Cent.
50 Cent. They all paid
Buster
money.
Rhymes.
Buster Rhymes. They all paid money to be up there, and it's clout. It's
And
clout. Who knows? Eminem could have had a new album coming out the next day, or 50 Cent had a new album, or
I'm
Mary J. Blige came out. Any of those could have came out with
I'm
a new
still
album the next day.
I'm still trying to get used to seeing Eminem with dark hair.
Well, blonde Eminem was a bad mother effer. That dude didn't care. He took names and wrote it down, and you didn't want to cross his way, even with this dark hair. Rap God?
Oh yeah, he was
What?
practically like was this dude the Canadian rapper that rapped Informer back in the 90s that was just spitting so
Well,
quick?
I know Busta Rhymes was pretty bad
Oh
back
no,
then.
dude, Jesus Christ.
Busta Rhymes just you had your head spinning. You didn't even understand the word he was saying, but it was good music.
Oh my God, no! I've listened to some of Busta Rhymes. Like I can only get every 2 or 3 words.
I would really want to know is how Sean Paul made it so big. I didn't understand a word he was saying.
He sang in a Jamaican accent, right?
Yeah, and it was pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand the word he was saying, but I still like his music because the beats were good. But yeah,
But I did understand Bob Marley when he sang.
yeah, he was. Yeah, I understood him too, but Sean Paul had this heavy accent. You just didn't,
But was it a work that accent, or he was actually Jamaican?
No, I think he was Jamaican. I think he grew up over there and stuff like that. So he had that heaviness. He can, even when he talks regularly to you, you're still like, huh? What you say?
So you're not a master of accents then.
Nah, his is too heavy. I'm sorry. I mean, I can listen. I'm able to get these callers to where they need to be with to the
Yeah,
right location. So I
you're
mean,
going there,
the call center that we work for, I get some heavy ass things during the day, and I'm just like, okay,
huh? Ay,
let me turn up the headphones and
ay,
figure out what this person wants.
I love it when Portuguese people call in Spanish queue.
Oh yeah, I had a couple that was Portuguese one day, and they were just like, it a 5 minute call turned into like 25 minutes. Anyway, let's not talk about
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
too
yeah, yeah,
moral.
yeah.
I wanna,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't see any fans at any of these big events.
No, that's more for the rich people.
I can see,
Like, how much is a Super Bowl ticket worth? Like what? A
oh
hundred
no, they're
thousand?
up there. They're up there. I don't know. I think you're paying a good like 50 grand maybe on top.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I haven't, I haven't looked at the pricing in a long time. They're probably even
So,
worse now.
so every head that's in there, every person that's in there,
No,
paid,
they're
p-
paying a hefty.
they paid practically a mortgage.
Mm, well, let's. I'm just gonna put average average
That's
Super Bowl.
an insult. I don't know. Like, like it's okay that you enjoy your sport and smoke them if you got them, but Jesus.
So getting into the Super Bowl last minute will be a big hit to your wallet. StubHub says this was this is in February of this year. StubHub says that the get-in price for Sunday was about $3,800, a jump of 10% from Saturday, and the average ticket sold was $6,136 at the dip of 8% from Saturday. So it's gonna cost you probably, and that's probably like
Like
nosebleeds
nosebleeds. Yeah.
last thing. You to get into a suite is probably gonna cost you 100. I mean, this Yankee Stadium alone to sit on, like, sit behind the catcher for one
Mm-hmm.
game is $800.
No, thank you.
I mean,
No, thank you.
that's half of my mortgage.
No, thank you.
That's one ticket.
No, thank you.
I bought tickets. I bought tickets for opening day this year,
Uh,
and it was against the
and
Red Sox.
and what are the crazy ones that buy season tickets?
Well, the section I sit, the cheapest ticket I ever bought. This was maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. I used to pay like $50 a ticket, and especially where I sit, because where I sit, it's like in the wheelchair section, but they have this nice foldable, like the the cushion's really, really thick. It's like this big,
Mm.
so you're comfortable, and they have cup holders in front of you, and you can move your legs. You could spread out. You don't have to be like on top of everybody. They were like $50. So I used to go like maybe like 2, 3 times a year. Like I definitely for my birthday because me and my wife had the same birthday, so we went for our birthday that one. Then we'll find like any game there for like 40, $50 and just go a different game. Opening day, usually the tickets are like out of this world, like $300, $400. I found one for like 110. Same
Mm.
section I sit in. So I bought a ticket and then I bought my nephew a ticket and he paid me back for that. And it was against the Red Sox. I mean, it was a good game. We went into extra innings. We got like 2 innings for free.
Okay.
It was worth it.
That's a nice way of
After
seeing it.
9 innings, it's free baseball. After that, you pay for the ticket you're paying for is only for 9 innings. After anything after that, to me, is free baseball.
You know
It's
that
entertained.
I bought myself, changing a little bit the subject. I bought myself a couple of Funko figures. You know, I have a little collection.
Yeah, I wanted to get my fluffy ones, but every time I go try to order them, they're fucking sold out like within minutes, bro.
Hmm. Well, I went on my birthday to the local comic book shop where they have an abundance of collection. I think it's called Newberry Comics. It's in the place that we can't mention. Anyway, I bought. I went there and they had a special for Funkos, and they said, "Okay, buy one, get the other one half off."
That's good.
I was like, "Oh, okay." So I bought one for a Spider-Man one that I saw, and I saw Deadpool. I was like, "Okay, good. I get Spidey and Deadpool." Little then I noticed that both of these are like limited collection, limited run
Hmm.
collector's item, and I threw away the box. I threw away the box, and when I showed the pictures to one of my friends in the yard, he was like, "You know, those are collector's items, right?" Like, what do you? Yeah, yeah. All Funkos are collector's item, basically. Yeah, but those two specifically were made.
Dude.
They were made commemorative for the first appearance of each character in their respective comic. So those are considered like legit collector's edition. They won't make them those again. Like some of these Funkos, they do have they do repeat them and make
Hmm.
them again, but those two are not. You got like you basically have a holy grail there. You basically have two holy grails there, and
Yeah.
you threw away the
Hmm.
box.
I don't even take mine out.
No,
I know
I
you
don't
like
give
to.
I don't give a shit. I told him, look, it could be, yeah, fine, whatever. I don't care, and I don't mean that insulting to him
Hmm.
or like making him sound. It's just that, look, if you buy this shit, if you want to, once you buy it, it's yours. You do whatever you want. Once you buy it, it's yours. You want to keep it in the box, keep it in the box. You want to keep it outside the box, keep it outside the box. Oh, but it loses its value. Look, man, I used to have a membership with a geek company that they send you geek goods every month,
Hmm.
and one of the things that they send you was limited edition comics that they were out there, but with a different cover that was exclusive to this brand that they didn't even sell in stores.
Hmm.
So, and it came in in a sealed bag. Guess what the fuck I did? I
You
opened that
opened up the
motherfucker.
bag.
I opened that motherfucker because I want to read. I want to read the story. Because guess what comic books are made for? Reading the goddamn story. That's what they're made for. Oh, but I didn't have a comic book store in DR. They were sending them from the States to DR. So I'm sorry. If you guys feel like how dare you? Like, I'm not that type of geek. I'm not that type of geek.
Yeah, like I said, I mean it's two different people. I know the ones for Fluffy.
No,
He makes
no.
them
Look,
once and that's it.
I would have loved to buy a Silent Bob Funko, but those run about over $100 now.
Nah,
I'm like, yeah, I'm not wasting $100 on a Funko Pop. I'm not wasting $100.
I think the Fluffy ones were like $40, and that's like the max I'll go.
No, no, I don't. I won't even. Not even. Like I wanted to buy a Ric Flair Funko, and then I saw, oh, there are $60. I said, tu madre.
No, I won't go past 40, and that's because it's only Fluffy, and I take him. I don't know if I ever tell you the story when I met him. That's why I'll do it because of the person that he is. I don't know if I ever tell you the story when I met him in Stanford.
I think you mentioned it.
I mean, here's a short term, and then we could probably end the podcast because I'm running pretty long. Um, so I bought tickets for me and my wife to see him in Stanford. He was talking about how he was trying to stop drinking. He was going to, he had a problem with it. He knew it. So it was basically a way of for him to stay on the stage a little longer, so he didn't have to go. He didn't go back to his room too early to do, and then had the urge to drink and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he was, I'll say he was probably over an hour and change of his set, and then he started doing old jokes that he did like that made him famous. And then he took questions from the live audience.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my wife are very quiet. We are very shy people. We don't really put ourselves out there and shit. So she goes, "You think I should tell him about our story?" Well, listen, if you have the balls, by all means, get up and tell him.
Or as Mick Foley would say, the ovarial fortitude.
Yes, that.
Like you said,
So
the testicular fortitude for women is if you have the
yeah,
ovarial fortitude.
if you have the ovarian fortitude, by all means, you can get up and. She goes, I think we. She goes, she got up, and he finally called on her because we were in front like row, but we were like 3 or 4 rows back, but on the right hand side of the stage. And he finally called her, and he goes, I think we got a story for you. And he goes, he goes, anytime when someone says, they got a story for me, it doesn't really turn out good. Long story short, she tells him we were born the same day, some hospital hours apart, blah blah blah. And everyone started screaming, "Fluffy, give him a shirt!" And I said, I was trying to buy a shirt, but they didn't have my size down there. I think, he goes up to like 6X.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I use. I can wear a 5, but I use a 6 because I like being comfortable. I don't like tight shirts. I don't like anything tight on me.
Me neither. That's why I use my t-shirts
Always a
3X.
size bigger.
I was
Always,
three or 4X.
yeah. I always go a size bigger, no matter what. And my body's weird. Like I have a small neck, but I'm broad, and then I'm round. So it's
I'm
really
just
weird.
imagining myself because I don't know if you do if you go through this because we big people. We are big people. That my when I was in DR, my wife used to take all my T-shirts and use it as a pajama.
Yeah, my wife never really did that. I mean,
No, to this look, I even had to leave some T-shirts over there because it was a bidding war between my two girls, between my wife and daughter, to see who was going to keep the Iron Man T-shirt.
oh man.
It was like a bidding war, and like I call them sometimes, and they're like, and my wife, either my wife is wearing it or my daughter is wearing it, and they're like, "Take that off. That's my no. Dad gave it to me." My little girl's like, "No, Dad gave it to me. He didn't give it to nobody. He just left it."
We'll take turns. Oh, by the way,
So I'm looking at my T-shirts here in the closet, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be starting a bidding war here as well.
the Yankees are losing now, 8-6.
Son of a
About the top of the ninth,
son of a
the guy walked 2 guys and gave up a home run.
God damn it.
Anyway, so going back to my story before we quickly end it. So he goes, listen, security after the show, grab these two and bring them to the dressing room.
Oh my God.
And my heart just was like, dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun, dun.
my God.
So after the show, the security came to us and goes, "Follow me." So we go. It was the dressing room for there was downstairs. We get
Oh my
downstairs,
God.
and he's just came off the stage. He's already taking pictures and signing autographs for the staff there.
Oh.
And then he wipes himself off and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm sweaty, blah blah blah. We're like, fuck that. And he gives us handshakes and
He can
kind
be
of like just like hugs us.
he can be sacrificing a baby to Lucifer, and you'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'll be like, fuck that. You're the man.
like, kill that baby.
So he,
Dark humor. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
and I'm the only one that can get you on that one. But he takes pictures with us, and then he says, "Listen, talk to my guy over here. He'll make sure he'll get you anything you need." And
Damn.
he gives us like towels, keychains, like stuff that he was selling upstairs. He gave it to me, and um, he goes, "I'll send you a few other things with whatever I have, at the shop." So they sent me a shirt, and he sends me
That's
a bunch of things that were just signed by him,
that's
and
beautiful.
I think it was and that was a Funko. He sent me a Funko with his signature on it,
Oh,
and
now that
I
one I wouldn't take out of the box.
no, I didn't take it out of the box.
Now
It's
that one
on
I would
my
like if I had something signed by somebody, that one I wouldn't take out of the box.
and to this day, if you buy one from his website, he signs them. He literally goes on um
The
Instagram
warehouse.
Live, and he goes to the warehouse. He shows you them, and he signs them. They ship out like thousands, and
Wow.
he literally sits there and signs every single one. He goes to like 4 or 5 Sharpies a day. He
That's
says
that's cool. That's
that's
very
a
cool.
comedian. That's a person
That's
that
very fucking cool.
I'm loyal to him for forever.
Dude, I
Just
mean,
stopping and telling me, "Come downstairs, or we'll take care of you." Took pictures with us like it was nothing. It was like nothing to him. He goes, "Come here, just take a picture." We didn't even ask. He goes, "Come and take pictures,"
wow. Like
and it was the best thing I ever went through.
uh, uh,
And
since we're talking about comedians, you remember the week I started my vacay that we talked about that I was going to buy the Andrew Schultz
yeah,
comedy special. Uh, it killed. Like, dude is awesome, and I didn't realize it till now until he said it. One, he got his money back and then some. By the way,
that's good.
he got his money and then some, so he made bank. Uh, and also, he said, I'm so grateful for everyone that bought the special that everybody who bought it on the first night, it's the special is yours for life.
There you go.
It's yours for life. And he also if you're betting, $15 on me. Like if you like betting, I got a association with a betting website, $15 on me. Like you basically
But
got your money back. You basically get
that's that's comedians. That's who they don't do it for fame. They don't do it for all that. They just love being on the stage. And
dude,
this guy here, I'm telling you,
dude.
he
Like the
literally it felt like he was an hour, maybe an hour and a half over. It felt like he was over 2 hours because he just poured his heart and soul into his stand up. Like I've been to a few stand ups. Like I seen Sean Wayne's at Levity Live.
hmm
He was good, but he didn't really give it to the crowd like that. You know what I
hmm
mean? I seen Cedric the Entertainer at Levity Live. Original Kings of Comedy. He came out, he did his bit, and he went back. You know what I mean? You didn't feel it. Like he didn't stay out there and was just like. And I go to the live shows because they usually have two. They usually have one at 7 and one at
hmm
9:30. So I like going to the live show because just in case they feel like, what, let me give this crowd a little bit more. I'm feeling the crowd tonight. Blah blah blah. The crowd was great for Cedric. He just did
hmm
his bit and just left. You know what I mean? Like I went to see Sebastian Maniscalco. I don't know if you know who he
Yeah, I
is.
know. Yeah,
I went to see him. It was
dude,
literally right before
the dude
COVID broke.
fills arenas.
He fills them up.
Yeah,
I went to see him
and he's
in
mostly
Wappinger
clean,
Falls.
and mostly clean.
Yeah, he's not as clean as um not as clean as Gabriel, but
hmm
he was clean. I saw him like right before like pandemic broke out. Like me and my wife couldn't got COVID at that point because like a week after they said COVID hit in the U.S. and there's like outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I seen him. He just came out, did his bit. He was good. He stayed maybe like 5 or 10 minutes after. Blah blah blah. Walked out. But Gabriel, to me, I don't know if it's because it was his addiction or whatever it was, but
He
he just
he went above
killed
and
the show. He
beyond.
went above and beyond, and it's I seen that like you can see his IG like people like post things and they just you can see the dude just gives more on his shows more than he needs to, and so I thought me thinking okay it wasn't his addiction, it was just he likes to give a good show and give his fans
And give back.
give back. The dude didn't need to take me downstairs with my
No,
wife. The
no,
dude
no,
didn't need to ask questions at the end. He could have just did his bit and went home and just locked
no.
himself in his
That's
room
a
for a
very
bit.
beautiful gesture. I honestly, being in his position, I don't know if I would be able to do something like that. I really don't.
I mean, to take I mean, you just left the stage and you're already taking pictures with the staff and signing things for them, and you
That's
knew I was coming.
like, for example, I don't have interactions with famous people or maybe like local celebrities in DR, but that practically don't count. But my brother, back in the day, we're talking about '96. He was working as a security guard in our local university around here. In the
Hmm.
county university. You already know what it is. The people listening, sorry, keep guessing. Anyway, he was working security, and there was a No Doubt concert, and we're talking about No Doubt. You know what No Doubt is,
When they, yeah, I know Gwen
but
Stefani.
this is right before they hit the big time, just like in the cusp of hitting the big
Mm,
time, because this was way a little like a couple of months before the big hit came out.
mm-hmm.
I think it was
Yeah, don't speak.
Don't Speak. So my brother, he did security detail on that concert. So he was like, I don't know if he was like backstage. I don't know. So he tells me that all the guys in the band were cool as fuck. He said that all those guys in the band were cool as fuck. They were very
Mm-hmm.
cool. They even gave him a CD. They signed them, all of them, except
Cool.
Gwen. He said that Gwen was a word I can't say. Uh, remember
Call her a
we
female dog if you want. We can call her a
uh,
bitch, but I
no,
know what you want to use.
the CUNTA, CUNT, yes, the
Yeah.
CUNT. He said that she was, but then he found out that that was when they were her and the bassist were breaking up.
Yeah, but still, you're coming to
So,
do a
because
that
remember
shit.
that song is about when they broke up.
Yeah, but still, you don't do that shit. Just look at Fluffy. He was going through addiction. He was going through a drinking problem. He was
No, no,
going through.
every individual is different.
But you have fans. You're coming to perform.
No, I
You
get
don't
that.
treat
I
people
get
like
that.
that. Like
I'm
I went to a sister graduated in the upstate,
mm-hmm.
one of the colleges, and I'm not gonna mention.
Uh-huh.
They had boys to men come to perform. But this was just like on a regular day. We were just went to go visit her and see how
Uh-huh.
she was doing and stuff like that.
So it's not that you went to see Boys to Men. It's just
No, it wasn't.
that
We didn't.
coincidentally that happened.
They were just at the college performing that day.
Okay, coincidentally.
Just yeah, they were nice as fuck. Saying hello to anyone. I mean, I didn't know Boys to Men as much as I do now.
Uh huh.
Because I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they were nice as fuck. They stood there, they sang their songs, they did whatever, and then they said hello. They said hello to the college people. They signed some autographs, took some pictures, and left and left.
Yeah,
You get into this business to entertain people.
and they are the ones
Now
that are
to
feeding you.
and we're the
They're the
I
ones
don't like
that
to I don't like to say like just like people say
like I pay
like
for
the
your
cops
house. I
like
pay
the
for.
cops. We pay for your salary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, what percentage of your money goes to the cop's salary?
Exactly. Like what percentage exactly? But
You know what I mean?
if
Like
you
I don't I hate when people say that.
but
Like
in terms of the fans going to an actual concert, you
yes,
pretty much
we
have
pretty much
have
we pretty
a
much
good
have a hand
certainty.
in their pocket
You
of
got a
what you could yeah.
percentage that yeah, you actually are actually putting
So at the
money
end
in
of
their
the
pocket.
day, You know what I mean? Like
No,
if
but
you have a
that
bad day, it is what it is. Just like that one with JoJo. Like I don't know if you've seen in the news recently, JoJo, forgot her last name, Swiva, whatever her name is, and the girl from Fuller House had a problem.
I think I do.
From
I
Cameron Blue, I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but anyway, supposedly JoJo went to the premiere of Fuller House, and she went to go take a picture with the girl Cameron
the older
Cameron,
one, the
the older
oldest one.
one. What was her name?
What? Forget her.
But anyway,
The one of the Tanner girls.
yeah, the older one.
Yeah.
She went to go take a picture with her, and she kind of told JoJo, "Not right now. I'll get you later. You know, not right
Uh-huh.
now," because
Uh-huh.
everyone else was taking pictures. So JoJo was basically saying when she was taking pictures with everyone else, blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, I'm probably just making, and at the end of the day, she called her back. She got into, one of the older one, the
Uh-huh.
Tanner older girl, DJ,
Uh-huh.
called, got in contact with JoJo through mutual friends, got her number, and said, I really don't know what I did. What did I do? Well, it's kind of probably not a big deal, and it's not a big deal to me. I didn't know it was gonna be out of proportion. If you're one of the famous girls, you won Dancing with the Stars, you did this, whatever you say to these teen boppers that are watching your TikTok, they're gonna make a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes, when I was at the Fuller House thing, I was at 11, and I wanted to take a picture with you, and you told me not now, but you were taking pictures with other people, and blah blah blah. And she goes, it's not a big deal. And she apologized to her and said, blah blah blah. As a mother, I felt sorry for, I didn't ever want to make people. So DJ wasn't being rude. She,
Mm-hmm.
you have publicists pulling you at that point to keep you going, to get you in there so they can start the show.
Mm-hmm.
But JoJo, the type of fans you have. Your fan base. They're gonna rip her freaking soul out. And all this girl did was not now.
No,
So
it's not that she said no. It's just like, can you, like, I don't remember which comedian was. Oh no, no, it wasn't a comedian. Juan Liguerra. You know who Juan Liguerra is.
I
You know
really, I tell you, faces are for me,
okay.
man.
He's he's the he's someone very important in DR. The thing is,
Okay.
okay, so he's a singer songwriter, and he leads a merengue group called Cuatro Cuarenta. You probably heard a lot of his songs, and he's internationally famous. Everybody kisses his feet, but he's also a very humble human being. Uh, the thing is that he released an album back in '94, I think it was, and he was going to do an interview in local DR television.
Hmm.
And a small kid, it went to him and was like, I wish I could buy your album, but I don't have money. I'm poor. And he said, oh, you don't? Wait, wait one moment. I'll be right back. Dude went back to the parking lot, went to his bag. He had one of the CDs there, and he pulled it out and was like, here you go.
There you go. So
Took a picture with the kid and everything.
now you got. I'm not saying you don't have your asshole celebrities. You're always gonna have your asshole celebrities, but don't try to drag someone down like this girl tried to do. Like that these people are gonna rip her heart out and feed it to their dogs when
It
it was,
is.
which if you had a problem with it, it was the easier way to get to her and be like, I didn't like this.
Look, it is what it is. People are people, and you have, like everything in life, you have the good, you have the bad. Be grateful for the good. The bad, just kick it out of the curve and don't fuck with it anymore. Like it.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm forever grateful to
No,
Fluffy.
Fluffy. Shout out to Fluffy whenever he hears this.
He
Maybe.
probably won't, but I'm forever grateful for him.
So
He made me a fan for life. I mean, I was already a fan from just watching his thing, but for him to take the time to talk to me and my wife and tell security to bring us down there, and he wanted to hear more of the story. You know,
so
um,
that that
you
that
know,
that's a good guy right there.
it took like 10-15 minutes just
Yeah, because
talking to us, took pictures with us. Like I said, he told us let's take pictures. We never asked. Then he says, "Oh, go talk to this guy. and he'll give him your address, and then we did like a minute. He'd asked us a few questions and we answered them. It is what it is. And they interview people for like the specials. No matter
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't filming a special that day, but just to put it in like a DVD and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like background stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm forever grateful, and I don't see him changing.
No, no. I mean, if he was like that with you, with no cameras, no nothing right there, that means that's the real deal.
That's him. That's the real deal,
That's the real
and
deal.
he's not fake.
Yeah, that's the shit that turns me off the most when I deal with fake ass people. Hence why I will say this and probably will end it with this. That's why I'm grateful in the church where I'm going right now. This is I don't I know this probably like will go maybe go not go right over your head or anything because you probably Catholics don't are not more like congregational people in the sense that people that go to church normally in the Catholic end don't deal with each other that much. Not that that's not many fraternities fraternizing between congregates, right? Unless you have a certain clique or family members within the congregation, but normally there's not many fraternizing between congregates members in the church. In the Catholic side. At least that
Mm-hmm.
was my experience back in the day when I used to go to a Catholic church. If that is not the case, I
It's
apologize.
changed. It changed a lot
Uh huh.
now.
Okay, so if
I
that's
mean,
not the case, I apologize. That was maybe a judgment call from I don't know 30, 40
well,
years
you're
ago.
only going by what you know. You
Exactly.
can't go by what you don't know.
Okay.
That's
Exactly.
why this podcast works for two different sides of the story.
So, but in my experience, being in the Protestant side of things, is that you fraternize more with the congregates, but also you get a whiff of a lot of bullshit, a lot of double mind, doble cara people. People
Mm-hmm.
who say one
Two
thing in front
Face.
of your face, two faced people say one thing in front of you, another thing in the back. This has been by far the most refreshing experience I've had in a congregation in a minute because
And that's good. You find your peace.
all these people, one, they have no BS in their mouth. They will tell you exactly what's going on in their life. And what they're looking at is that, we help each other. Like my walk maybe not that good, but there's certain areas in my walk that I'm trusting God and I'm gonna share that with y'all. And maybe that's a blessing for you. Maybe me telling you this story helps you in some way. And it ends up being that way. And now we notice like, man, like I'm missing some stuff, you missing some stuff. We all missing some stuff. But when we put each other together, it's like we connect, we gel. Like what I'm lacking, you have. And whatever you're lacking, I have. So we help each other, spiritually speaking. So, and I mentioned that is because, we're talking about people that are fake, but also people that are real. Like in the case of Fluffy. He is a real dude, for what you've said.
He's the realest that I ever seen. And
He's a real dude.
if it's a fake, then he's putting on a good gimmick because
Exactly. He's putting on a show.
he's
If
the best. He should get an Oscar.
Yeah. So we're going, and I 100% believe you in the terms of what he said because why would you lie about that shit? Anyway, so what I'm saying is that uh, let's find people who are more on the real side and people who like to dwell and habitate on the bullshit side. Let's cast away those suckers and not hate them, not call them out on their shit because if you're an asshole and a lying sack of shit, you probably don't deserve the time of day. You know what I mean? You probably are not deserving of people paying attention to you in terms of wasting their time trying to find a reason why trying to change you. I mean, God will change you. That's what I believe, anyways. So I leave you in the hands of somebody way more capable than I am. Me personally, I have no patience with people who are full of shit. If I find out that people are full of shit, I pretty much shut down that door and I'm like, thank you, fuck you, bye.
Yeah, I learned a lot from watching the ESPN, the captain from Derek Jeter. He's the epitome of okay. I got a very tight group, and it's not like you don't have a chance to get in this group. But once you fuck up,
You're done.
I'll forgive you,
But you're done.
but you're done.
You're
And he has
done.
the ability to just say, "I'll cut you right off.
You're done. So
You're done. You're not gonna do this to
basically,
me again."
so Alex is done then.
Oh yeah,
Okay. he's
Alex is done.
he's
Yeah,
major done.
I'm a cat. Going back to the Catholic thing. I'm not a full grown like. Do I believe in God? Do I believe in this, and that? Yeah, but I don't. I'm a person that believes that I don't need to go to the church to practice and for him to hear me or you know be you know be with one within. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you believe in the church and you think that's good for you, and you think to be closer to him, you need to go to church. By all means, go ahead. That's
Hmm.
that's on you. I believe that if I wanted to close my eyes and just pray, that he'll hear me, and I don't need to go to the church every single Saturday or Sunday for him to hear me.
No, I go because I want to go.
And that's fine. Like I said, if you want to go and that's something you feel like you need to do,
Hmm.
I'm not going to hold that against you.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that I'm going to go to hell because I don't go to
That
church
whole
every Sunday.
that
Or
whole mentality
I
of
don't like,
imposing shit on people.
not to get, personal here, but your uncle opened, and by all means, like I said, I'm not going to throw his name out there, just saying your uncle, before I met him, the guy that was going to marry us, me and my wife, basically told us that if we don't put God first, our marriage will never last. That to me was a red flag. And my mother loved this guy.
That was
That
the
to me, he
guy
showed
that
me,
you told me the stories before of what
yes.
happened. That
Well,
my uncle had to.
no, 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 no. This was a guy before. That was the guy, like two guys before your uncle.
Okay, okay.
This is the guy before him, and that guy, he got basically almost thrown out because he was playing favoritism, supposedly.
Mm.
But you don't tell two people that are young in love and want to get married in your church that you're
Uh,
leading that if then we don't put God first, your marriage is never gonna last. Your uncle came in, never even asked us any of those like the same questions he did. Your uncle came in and made us feel welcomed, and that was when I knew
look,
we were in good hands.
uh, it is my experience uh, going with the religious things that I've gone through is that God will deal with you directly. And you don't need third parties to be interfering in that kind of stuff. If you add a third party there, then that third party wants to be God, and he wants to control. He wants the control over you. And three is a crowd. God deals with the inside out, not the outside in. So whatever it is God's job to do, he will do it with you, to you, not through some person who wants to
And
manipulate you.
and that's why your uncle made me feel comfortable because he never pressured me.
No, he's cool. He's cool.
He's he never pressured us. He never did, he
No,
never made us feel uncomfortable.
no, look, I'll shout it out. I mean, I came to this country, didn't have a place to live for months. Months. I didn't have a place to live.
He opened up his
He opened up an old convent that was not being used, and he accepted me with open arms. And I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a Catholic. Well, we still are family. And at no moment, one of the first things he told me when we were there, look, we have services here and whatnot, but you don't need to feel pressure that you have to come just because you're here. Okay, I respect that you have your religious views, and you're respectful of my views. Just use everything here and don't say anything. Everybody knows where you stand, and I've told him don't be forcing him or making him feel uncomfortable just because he's here that he has to do certain things to appease our Catholic beliefs. Leave him alone. He has his own beliefs, and just let him be.
And that's what I saw day one. And
Yeah,
that to me made me feel comfortable and made me feel like, okay, he's not forcing. I mean, he jokes around. He's like, "Oh, I don't see you." Like when I see him
yeah,
once
yeah.
in a blue, "Oh, I don't see
I
you
know
at church on Sunday. I hope you're going to church."
he'll kid
But that's about
around.
it. Now that's like the most you'll get from him. You won't hear anything else. You won't
Mm-hmm.
you won't hear him say anything else. So I'm going to that. I that's that's where I stand.
Yeah,
And like I said, and when you didn't, our convent, all our people in our church, we always, you build a family, and especially where your uncle's at, they're all family. You
yeah,
see him every single Sunday. You see him, like my mother is like hand in hand with your uncle.
yeah. She not practically. She works there.
Yeah, and you know, and that's in he makes you feel comfortable, and at the end of the day, it's I I was his first wedding at that church. I made a mark on
By the
him.
way, married the same church where Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were.
Yes, that's even bigger.
Yeah.
Um, but to this day, we probably he probably told us at a point that was his first wedding at that church, and were all our last
But
names.
by the way, how did the Undertaker got inside that church and didn't burn?
He stood outside, or he might have had like a fireman suit on.
Oh my god! What a way to keep kayfabe. Anyway.
Anywhere, but if you learn anything from today is just be yourself, even if it's to yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that's left to deal with the mental, the emotional state that you're going to be in.
Yep.
So if you're better off alone and you don't want to deal with anyone else's bullshit, by all means be by yourself.
Yeah.
And who gives a damn what people say about you? Because at the end of the day, they're not paying your bills and they're not
They
paying,
don't know what
not
you're
doing
going
anything
through.
for you.
They don't know what you're going through. They
You
don't
gotta
know.
keep your head up. You have a plan, put your plan in motion, and keep your head up and keep going forward. Because at the end of the day, no one got you like you got yourself.
Man, this one went all over the place.
It did, but we ended on a good note.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're shooting the breeze here. We don't script this.
No, obviously.
If we did script this, it would be like, okay, we're going from wrestling to movie to wrestling to, and then back to here, back to there. Let's talk about no. We're
And
shooting the breeze. This is what, this is almost like a hobby for us.
yeah.
Well, this is a hobby for me because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't get into this. I wouldn't even think about doing a podcast, but we're shooting it off each other.
Yeah.
And
And it's weird that me, being the introvert that I am, I decided to like publicly air all my grievances on a medium where people don't even know that exists.
eh, but I mean, you even talking to me is a big deal. I mean,
I mean,
I don't know.
I've learned how to be a more social animal. Like I was telling one of the kids at church last night, because she's a little bit of an introvert, and there were kids running around, and she was the only one that was staying still. And I looked at her like, "You're an introvert, aren't you?" And she like, "Yeah." Yeah, okay. Well, welcome to the club. I told her, "Well, welcome to the club. You're an introvert." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah." A pretty one, a pretty big one, not just for the size. It's just but you talk to people like, well, with old age, you learn that you have to communicate because
Mhm.
telekinesis and
Still
telepathy
not.
have not been developed yet to
Yeah.
the point that you don't have to use words.
But I think to you is if you're comfortable. I don't know if I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what.
yeah. No, I sense people. I sense people, and I sense them. I test them, and if I feel comfortable with them, then I let my guard down. But my guard is up 24/7, 365.
Well, at the end of the day, my line's always open for you. So I'm hoping I give you somewhat of a
No, no.
comfortability.
Believe me, if we're having this conversation and we're recording, it's because you are in the good and you're in the good spot. You
That's
have
a good thing.
you have passed all the tests with flying colors. Look, I don't. I'm very easy to please in terms of talking with people. Just be yourself and no bullshit. That's it. Be
I don't
yourself,
have any
no
bullshit to
bullshit.
give you. This is my life.
Exactly. Be yourself and no bullshit. You be
It
yourself
ain't.
and no bullshit. We can talk and we can find common ground where to talk. If you are pretending to be something that you're not, I will pick on it. I will pick up on it, and it will be a negative on my side.
Right. You
I'll,
met my mother. That's me. I
oh
help
no,
out
that
where I can.
woman has no BS on her whatsoever.
She'll yeah, she'll tell you straight out, and that's almost bad for her, almost, because she just when she's not
Oh no,
supposed to say something,
I
she
I
should really not.
I was raised by a man that was a straight shooter as well, so that comes in the territory. My mom was a straight shooter as well, but she was more diplomatic.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a time to
Yeah,
you
there's a
don't
time
always
and
have to
place where
say what's
exactly.
on your mind.
I understand. Believe me,
And
I
I'm not
understand.
saying that you shouldn't be a straight shooter, but sometimes you should. It's better to
Leave the gun
leave
in the
it.
holster.
Exactly.
You don't have to shoot somebody in the head all the time.
Exactly. So, ending on that note, just be yourself. At the end of the day, no one knows better for you than yourself.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, I don't know. Uh,
Okay.
buy your shirts
Yeah, that's
or
where I was going.
buy the shirts.
tpublic.com. Go to wherever it says, I think, Husky Barbu. Go to our website, huskybarbupod.com. Social media at Husky Barbu Pod. Our individual social media at that Ariel Duran, and yours is on.
Instagram only at Johnny Boy 426.
Okay, so there. We already put all that shit in there. Keep buying the t-shirts. Make Papa rich.
Yeah,
So
you make Papa rich, and then I'll get some of that, and then we'll
yeah,
both be rich, and
get
then we can
Papa
start
rich.
supporting.
I can get my family here and other stuff that we would like to have, and the world will be a better place
Exactly.
because I'll be happy, you'll be happy, and all of us will be happy. And what is there anything
Quit my
wrong with
job.
being happy? No,
I could
there's
quit my
nothing.
job and just do this full time. I didn't say what type of job, but I can just quit.
One baby step at a time. One baby step. Anyway,
Small footsteps.
Yeah.
Very small footsteps.
anyway, this has been the Husky Blues podcast, and we will go inside your ears one more time next time.
Well, it's coming out earlier this time, though.
Well, we're still deciding that. We're still debating that. But if you are listening to this sooner than later, then surprise. Anyway, so yeah, that was a 2 hour and change conversation there for you earlier than expected. So we will listen to each other next week. Take
Peace out,
care.
everybody.